Every driver knows the feeling. You are cruising down the road when a small light on your dashboard turns on, or you see the sticker in the corner of your window. It is time for an oil change. Most of us find this to be a boring chore that costs time and money. We often wonder if it is really that important or if mechanics are just trying to take our cash. But the truth is that motor oil is the actual lifeblood of your car's engine. Without it, your car would not survive more than a few minutes. Today on Behind the Basics, we are breaking down exactly what oil does inside your engine and why it gets tired over time. We will see how a simple fluid swap keeps your car running for years. Let's look under the hood together right now. To understand why we need to change the oil, we first need to know what it does. Inside your car's engine, thousands of metal parts are moving up and down and spinning very fast. These parts are made of heavy metal and fit together very tightly. If they touch each other while moving that fast, the friction would create a massive amount of heat. This heat would melt the metal and destroy the engine in seconds. This is where motor oil comes in. The oil coats all these moving parts with a very thin, slippery layer. It acts like a cushion so the metal parts never actually touch each other. They just glide smoothly on a layer of oil. But lubrication is only the first job. Motor oil also acts as a cooling system. While the regular coolant in your car handles the main engine block, the oil carries heat away from the fast-moving parts in the center. It keeps them from getting too hot. Lastly, oil is a cleaner. As an engine runs, it creates tiny bits of dirt, metal shavings, and carbon. If this junk stays on the parts, it acts like sandpaper and grinds them down. The oil grabs this dirt and carries it away to a safe place. So, motor oil is doing three massive jobs at the exact same time. It stops friction, it cools parts down, and it sweeps up the trash. It is a very hard worker, and it operates in a place that is incredibly hot and violent. This hard work is exactly why it cannot last forever. Let's look at what happens when that oil starts to get worn out over time and why it fails. Now we know why oil is so important. But why does it need to be changed? Why can't a Euro T we just put it in once and forget it? The answer is heat and stress. Over thousands of miles, the intense heat inside the engine starts to break down the chemicals in the oil. When oil is fresh, it is thin and golden, and it flows easily like warm syrup. This lets it reach every tiny corner of the engine quickly. But as it gets older and gets cooked by the engine's heat over and over again, it starts to change. It becomes thick and dark. Eventually, old oil turns into a thick, black goo called sludge. Sludge is the absolute worst enemy of an engine. Instead of flowing smoothly to protect parts, it gets stuck in the small tubes and blocks the path of fresh oil. It is like grease blocking a pipe in your kitchen. When the oil cannot flow, parts of the engine run completely dry. This is when the real damage starts. The chemicals that the oil uses to clean the engine also get used up. Once these cleaning chemicals are gone, the dirt and metal bits start to settle on the engine parts instead of floating away. This means that old oil is actually hurting your engine rather than helping it. It is no longer slippery, it is full of dirt, and it cannot carry heat away anymore. It has gone from being a protector to a destroyer. This is why every car maker gives you a specific mileage or time limit for when you need to swap out that old, dirty fluid for something fresh and clean. What actually happens if you just ignore the oil change? If you let the oil go too long, the friction between the metal parts will skyrocket. The engine will start to run much hotter than it should. You might hear strange knocking or grinding sounds as the metal parts fight for space. Eventually, the heat will get so high that the metal parts will expand too much. They will weld themselves together or simply snap under the stress. This is called a seized engine, and fixing it usually costs thousands of dollars. In many cases, it means you have to buy a completely new car. Changing your oil is like buying health insurance for your engine. It is a small cost every few months that stops a massive disaster from happening later. It is the single most important thing you can do to make sure your car lasts for a very long time. It does not matter how fancy or expensive your car is. Without fresh oil, every engine will eventually destroy itself. By spending a little bit of money on a regular basis, you are saving yourself a giant headache and protecting your bank account from a huge bill every single year. When you get your oil changed, the mechanic will also change your oil filter. This is just as important as the oil itself. Think of the filter as a trash can for the engine. As the oil sweeps up dirt and metal bits, it carries them to the filter. The filter traps all that junk so it doesn't go back into the engine. But just like a trash can in your house, the filter eventually gets full. If you put fresh oil in a car but leave the old filter, the new oil will just get dirty right away. It would be like taking a shower and putting on dirty clothes. Changing the filter makes sure that your fresh oil stays clean and effective for the next few thousand miles. It is a simple part with a very big job to do. An oil change might feel like a chore, but it is the secret to a long-lasting vehicle. It keeps your engine clean, cool, and running smoothly. If you like learning about how your car takes care of itself, please hit the like button and subscribe to Behind the Basics. We have plenty more simple car and tech breakdowns coming your way soon. Drive safe, and we will see you next time.